Crown Green podcast hosted by yours truly, Moo Couture. As always, I give honor to God before I do anything else because here at Crown Green podcast, we give praises to where it's due. And without God, none of us would be here and none of this would be possible. So shout out to the big OG. And for those of you that don't know, original God, only God, all G. All right. So listen, I'm so excited for this interview because we have a very special guest. We got a singer on here tonight, y'all. Listen, she don't sing with us with an I-N-G. She sing with S-A-N-G. Okay? We have the Miss TiffanySherice, Petersburg's finest Miss TiffanySherice. Miss TiffanySherice is a gospel recording artist. She is an entrepreneur, a registered nurse, and the dog mommy to our newest nephews, Leo and Creed. Hey,
I
y'all.
love that.
Listen, she's is also the founder of Becoming Ruth. And when I read on her webpage that she wants to help women turn up their spiritual gangster, y'all knew I was all for it. Because she said we have to have a strong desire to break the stigma and perfectionism in church and demonstrate what women who are followers, of Christ really look like. And as a young person, I feel that's so important because we need more people to show us the right way to Christ. We need more of that Ruth and Naomi type of sisterhood. Okay. So I'm so excited to not only hear what has led her to releasing Do It Afraid, but what led her to forming Becoming Ruth. And I want to hear about her recent trip to the 28th annual Stellar's Gospel Award show. Listen, y'all, we have a treat for y'all tonight. So help me welcome my new sis, Miss TiffanySherice.
Awesome.
Well,
How are you?
I'm nervous, as you probably could hear me. I'm
No,
excited.
listen, you
Like,
are doing.
this is amazing. A lot of times you get to see as young people, I always consider myself young, but I'm almost in the 35 club. But that's my business. But this so excited because it's like you went to the Stellars, you're accomplishing your goals, you're doing things that more young people dream. Like so many young girls that play doctors and they play singer and they play concert, and you're doing all of that at one time. That's dope.
Thank you. So, first of all, thank you so much for having me. First of all, the introduction was amazing, and I hope I can live up to the expectation of the introduction because the introduction was absolutely phenomenal. I'm super excited to be here
Yes.
and just for what you're doing. I've been listening to your previous interviews and you're doing such a fabulous job. And I'm just super
Yes.
excited to connect with you today. Yes, ma'am. Let's
Yes.
jump into it.
Let's get into it. Listen, Miss Tiffany. So, in a few short words, let's just get straight into it. Tell us about Miss TiffanySherice, baby.
I feel like you may have said it all, but I am literally the epitome of what it means to do it afraid. God has
Mm,
given me a vision, and as fearful as I have been, I'm just out here like, you know what, God, whatever task you lay before me, I know that you will give me what I need to accomplish it. And so if it means that I have to do it afraid, so that other people can be inspired to do it
yeah.
afraid, send me, I'll go. So I'm really just out here doing it afraid. As you said, I am a vocalist. I'm a registered nurse. I'm currently working at a long-term care facility, and I am the proud dog mom of two beautiful pups, Leo and Creed, and I am the founder of a women's Bible study group, Becoming Ruth.
Yes, that's so dope. Like, um, I don't know. I feel like Do It Afraid is kind of what stepping into your green is because we encourage the women to go outside of your comfort zone and to do what God has called you to do and to just enjoy life. A lot of times we allow fear to hold us back. So, with that being said, when did you what was your Do It Afraid moment where you stepped out on faith and just decided to do it?
So let me just share. And wow, I was just praying this morning because I'm like, God, I am in a good place, like the place that I'm in now.
Yeah.
Last year, I wasn't in this place. And I glory for being in a good place.
Yeah.
Previously, I had battled severe anxiety and depression. And I was just having a conversation with God because I'm like, God, I was telling people about it, but just how
Yeah.
bad it was. Like, you was there.
Firsthand,
You
you saw
saw
me
that I was literally, at the end of my rope.
struggling.
And
Yeah.
so, a
Yeah.
few years ago, I had the opportunity to actually write the song "Do It Afraid," but because of
Mm,
my fear, because of my shame, because of my frustrations and everything that I was going through, I really just sat on the song. I was like, I'm
yes.
too afraid to even release the song. So I
Right.
feel like over the last few years, God has just been warring with me about it. And I believe it was maybe October or November of last year where I kind of just got like a fire under my butt. And I was like, you know what? I can't wait until I'm filled with boldness to do what it is that God is calling me to do. I'm gonna have to
Mm,
just do it afraid. I'm gonna have to do what the song is saying and
yeah.
release this song. And so I set up a few things, and at the top of the year, I released the song, and I'm so grateful that I did because the testimonies that have been pouring in just in my everyday life, people that are saying, I was full of fear too. Like, don't feel like you were by yourself. I felt the same way. I had frustrations. I didn't think that I was enough. I was feeling insecure, but hearing this song, Do It Afraid, is
Yeah.
pulling me out of my fear. And even if it's not pulling me out of my fear, it's pulling me to a place where I'm comfortable in my fear enough that I will do it afraid.
Wow. And that's amazing because like with everything that I go through with my health and just still trying to grow as a woman and be there for everyone else, I have to push myself out of my comfort zone. And so I feel like doing it afraid, you also have to push yourself out of your comfort zone to get to where you want to be. And so this is,
Constantly. Yeah.
yeah.
And
And
and it's a constant, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone because there are times where I feel so bold and I'm like, this is it. I'm just gonna be out here now and give it a
yeah.
few days. I'm like, God, I don't feel as bold as I felt the other
Hmm.
day. And so it's a constant push.
It
Stepping
is.
into your green, it's an everyday practice. You got to pray about it
Yeah.
daily. Like, God, how can I step into the green today? How can I move out of my
Yeah.
comfort zone today? And I think that that's a way of for God to keep us at his feet. We
Yeah.
constantly need him. So I always have to come back to you because I can't do it on my own.
I cannot do it on my own. And I think,
Yeah.
I just want to say this for the listeners. I picked the color green because green means go. And so
Go.
you have to be able to go forth and do what God has called you to do. You have to be able to go forth and go to your next. So I don't know, when I was listening to the song and I was like, man, this it just resonates to what Crown Green stands for. So I couldn't have thought of a better person to bring on and to interview than you in this moment, in the season that I'm going through, because as most of
Yeah.
my listeners know, I'm here receiving treatment at MD Anderson at the cancer hospital. Shout out to Dr. Slippers and his team. What's up?
Hmm.
But I have to constantly push myself because it's, even though I believe what the word says and I believe that by his stripes I am healed, I'm human. So that fear comes in, but I have to do it afraid. I have to still go in with my head held high, believe that his promise will never fail. So this is going to be a great interview and I can't wait to dig deeper.
I'm super excited to be here.
Yes, ma'am. So listen, I heard you say in one of your interviews for Dose of Hope, you said that you were like, you sat on this song for 3 years and you said that you could because you couldn't believe that, this is what God would have you to really do. Do you believe that sometimes we hold our own selves back from doing what God has called us to do?
I think that we do. I think that we get so wrapped up in really our insecurities and
Mm-hmm.
not having enough and perhaps money
Yeah.
or not having the team that we think we need.
Ooh, it talk
I
about
think
that
that it
team though.
yeah, I think it's the mind. We all know that the
Yeah,
mind is a powerful thing. And so
it
sometimes
is.
if you sit on something long enough, you will literally think of every reason
Yeah.
as to why you shouldn't do it. And it's even making me think about when you say the color green means go. You think about it when you're in the car and you're at a stoplight
Mm-hmm.
and the light turns green. The car behind you wants you to immediately go. And if
Yeah.
you don't, they're literally like beeping the horn, like it's your
Uh,
turn to go. And
yeah.
I think that when we surrender to God, even in our goals and our visions and what it is that He would have us to do, it's not enough to go. We have to go quickly.
Mm-hmm.
We have to move quickly, because if we wait too long, fear will sit in. We'll
Yeah.
begin to think about why we shouldn't do it, as opposed to just saying God has given me the green light and I'm gonna just go.
And I'm gonna just go.
Yeah,
That's a good thing because oftentimes we feel like we're not worthy of doing what he has told us to do. When if we were not worthy, I don't think he would have told us. Like, who's gonna tell you to do something that you're not capable of doing? So that means he believes in us. You think? I don't know. That's just me. I think that when he gives us something to do, that means he know we're capable of doing it. He wouldn't
definitely.
give
I
us an
agree.
assignment that he know we may not be able to fulfill if he's not going to already give us what we need to fulfill that assignment.
That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's good. So jumping back, going backwards a little bit, I see when you started Do It Afraid, you also started Fearless Fridays. Tell us about Fearless Fridays. Come on, fill us in. Tell us about
Yeah. So
that.
listen, I'm super excited. Fearless Friday is really just a Friday of artists and creatives getting together and taking a stance against fear.
Mm,
And so I literally go to God for everything regarding this song. And I'm like, okay, God,
yeah,
how can I market the song? Like, how do you want me to talk about it? How are people going to find out about Do It Afraid? And he gave me Fearless Friday. And so I've been looking to partner with people in different cities, to network with different artists. And we literally take a stance against fear through our own individual gifts. And
mm,
so we've done one in Petersburg and Richmond so far. And perhaps someone is going to listen and come across this interview. Reach out to me if you think that we should bring Fearless Friday to your city. But we have a host, a comedian that does hosting super well. And we have a couple of Christian rap artists. We have a young lady that prays dance, she mimes, have other vocalists, singers, and we just all come together and we just have a good night out on a Friday and get some good food, and we're at a nice venue and we just come together and we use our gifts collectively. And of course, we affirm in the room that when you leave here, we don't want you to be the same. We literally want you to leave with a spirit of boldness, and we want you to feel that you can do it afraid as well. And so I
mm,
always ask the artists, whoever participates, I always ask that they would literally pray and that they will ask God to help them to
yeah,
share at Fearless Friday how they are overcoming their fears. The word of God says we're overcome by the word of our testimony. And I
yeah,
think that us
man.
just sharing in certain spaces how we've been able to overcome our fears is helping others overcome theirs as well.
Yeah, it is. I agree. So that's amazing. So I just want to say, like Mr. Brown said in the movie "Put Me On" program, I got a song on my heart that I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna
Look, we got you on, sis.
That's good. Period. I got a solo. I'm gonna sing solo. Y'all probably won't hear me, but just put me on program. And
But you're on the program, we calling you up. Look, you can come up and talk about how you doing Crown Green Afraid. Come on up there.
yes,
It's a
I got
it's a
you.
space for everybody. Let's get it.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I even think you guys would do well with doing it here in Houston. Like
Yes.
I feel like
Listen.
I know some people here. I know of some areas. Like let's collaborate and see about getting Do It Afraid and Fearless Fridays to Houston. I feel like that'll be dope.
Listen, let's take it. Like, let me
Yeah,
tell you, you just saying that has confirmed what God has been saying, because even in wanting to host Fearless Friday, I'm like, God, I don't know anybody. I'm from Petersburg. I don't
yeah.
know nobody in Houston, and God is like, if you just do it, if you just take the step,
Yeah,
I'll
put the
provide
people
the
there.
provision for you.
Yeah, yeah, I can see you guys here. I can see Fearless Fridays here. I have a cousin that does like promotions and events and stuff, and I'm pretty sure that we can collaborate some ideas and we can make some noise down here.
Let's
I
make
always
it
tell
happen.
everybody whenever I have family and friends that are doing music or whatever they may be doing, I'm always willing to support, and whoever I know, they know, because I feel like I didn't get to where I am by myself. Somebody had to put my name in that room. So what better way to repay and to go back than to put my loved ones' names in the rooms as well?
Yeah, let's do
You go
it.
up, you go up. If you go up, I go up. You win, I
Let's
win. You know?
yeah.
So I would definitely be. We're gonna talk about it after the interview of what we can do
Let's
to
do that. I
get
definitely
it.
think that there is power in community. And
Yeah,
so we would love to bring Fearless Friday to Houston.
yeah. I think that'll be dope. Even if you do something small, like for just the like visit around some of the local hospitals here and encourage them. That's just getting your foot in the door.
Let's do it. I'm with it. As a
I need it.
registered nurse. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can touch on many different subjects, not
Yeah.
just your ministry of music, but you can touch on health wise too and encourage the patients. So
Awesome. I
I
would
got some
love that.
ideas going through my head. But jumping back into the interview, because I've been and got sidetracked and will keep you here all day.
No, look, I ain't got nothing to do.
Listen, it's always good. So I want to go back and I want to say, so what does doing it afraid look like to you, and how can you encourage others to step out of their comfort zone and follow their dreams?
I think doing it afraid looks like showing up
Hmm.
and just showing up in the moment.
Yeah.
Because we get so ahead of ourselves, and I do it too, like just thinking about next year
Hmm.
or the next few months, and it's like, no, just show up today, like
Yeah.
doing what you can for today. I said that today. I was on the phone and I was planning tomorrow, and I was like, you know what, no, I'll call you back later this evening.
Yeah.
I just want to be in the space that I'm in this moment right
Mm.
now, so doing it afraid, it may look different to everyone, of course, depending on what they're dealing with, but just showing up with what you have in the moment and
Right.
trusting that when you take that step of faith, when you take that leap of faith, that God has something greater for you on the other side of that step.
Yeah.
And I do truly believe that. And I think that that's really what doing it afraid is. It's about trusting God. It's
Mm.
about faith in it. I know
Yeah.
sometimes we hear like fake it till you make it, but I feel like I'm
Yeah.
just in a season where I'm just faithing it till I make it.
Agree.
I'm just faithing it. I'm just trusting that as I take the tiny step, that God will reward me and He will give me the confirmation that I need, that this one small step is the right step, and I'll feel comfortable enough to take two or three.
I agree. Yeah, because sometimes life is hard, and you gotta just trust it. No matter what, God will bring you through and bring you back to where you need to be. So that's good as well. So can you tell us a moment where other than when you released your song "Do It Afraid," can you tell us about a moment where you had to do it afraid, where there was
Do
something
it.
that you had to do afraid?
Yes, I most certainly can. I think that, like I said, I'm like walking, living, doing it afraid. I've always been like the fearful friend. Like, I
Hmm.
don't know if, like, every time you had like an opportunity to go out and do something, I'm the friend that's like weighing all the pros and cons. I'm like, I don't know if
Yeah.
we should do that, y'all. I'm kind of scared. So I've always been a little, fearful
Hesitant
to
before you
say.
do it.
Yeah. So my life story is doing it afraid. I'm a dog mom and I used to be terrified of dogs. I have two
Wow.
pit bulls now. So, but
Ooh.
I will say that I am a registered nurse
Uh-huh.
in my final semester in school. Wow. I took a final exam on a Monday and I
Uh-huh.
was supposed to graduate Thursday. And I'm here in Virginia and I called my family in North Carolina and Georgia and Northern Virginia, and everybody's going to come and see me graduate Thursday. And I failed that final exam
Mm.
and I needed to pass that final exam in order to graduate.
Wow.
That was a very dark time for me because I've been in school now 2 or 3 years. I'm really not working. I'm struggling. I'm behind on
Yeah.
my bills. Like, I need this to work. I need to graduate and hurry up and finish with this program so I can get caught up on a few things. Like, I don't even
Yeah.
have time to be in school anymore. Like, I need this to work. And I failed out of that program and I just said, I'm giving up. It's not meant for me to be a nurse.
Hmm.
I failed the class. So obviously, me failing one class, it didn't matter that I had passed
Right.
12. It's
Right.
not
That
meant for
one
me to be
didn't
a
have
nurse.
nothing to do with the
Yeah.
other one.
So I'm just done with it. I'm just not going back to school. And I remember I sat at home for a semester and I cried. I just was like, I ain't going back. Everybody's like, just go back. You only have one class to take. I'm like, no, I'm just not going back.
Yeah.
But I prevailed and God laid it on my heart to go back and finish it. And I did. And I will say that I didn't tell anybody about it. Because
Yeah.
sometimes when you're doing it afraid, it's just between you and
You
God.
and
Like,
me. Come on
yeah,
now.
I didn't talk about it. I just went to school. And I remember the semester was from like January to April.
Mhm.
And I told my family in March, hey, I'm going to graduate from RN school next month. And so
Yeah.
that was a time that when you said that, I'm thinking about it. It was like, yeah, that was a time where I really stepped out and did it afraid. Because school is hard. And I hope that
Very
someone,
much.
I don't know why this is on me so heavy, that someone hearing this may be feeling that.
Come
Like,
on.
go back.
Yeah.
That's the part of doing it afraid. Going
Yeah.
back and knowing that you're in a different place. And so God is
Mhm.
going to give you a different result. Go back.
Yeah. Listen, if something drops on your heart or God put something in your spirit during this interview, please don't hold back. Please don't.
Yes.
Look, please don't be afraid. Do it
Look,
afraid. Give
do it
give
afraid.
the people the word. Give the
Do
people
it
the
afraid.
word.
Get the people the word.
Look, don't be selfish with the word, okay?
Don't be listening. Y'all
Give
go back for real. I feel that for somebody that you
yeah.
know, you go back. Go back. Go do it again. Do
And
it
you know, it's
afraid. Go
it's
back.
funny because that could even be for me because I be looking at other people. Because of my health, I didn't get to attend my last 4 years of high school. I was homebound and I didn't get to experience what most high schoolers do, the sock hops and the events like that. And then I see like my loved ones in college and taking these classes and doing all of that and everything that I have learned from graphic design to photography to podcasting to all the different things that I know how to do, resumes, all of that good stuff that I can do. I've self taught myself.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is. I've read books. I've dedicated myself to learning the things that I wanted to learn in the way that I could learn them because my health, I couldn't do some of the things like normal kids. So even for myself, it's not too late for me now if I wanted to go back to school and do that. So I received that word from myself.
Yes, go back. We're rooting for you.
Yeah, I received that word for myself that although
Yes.
I taught myself these things, if I want to, I still it's not too late. I just feel
No,
like
it's
that it's
not too
not too
late.
late is a word for somebody. It's not too late.
Go back.
Yeah, I so thank you for that, Miss
Yeah,
Tiffany.
it's not too late. You can go back and listen. We are encouraging you. We got you. We praying for you. Go back. Go get it. If that's what you want to
Yeah, I used to tell when I was growing up, I used to say I wanted to be a child psychologist because
do.
growing up dealing with my health, I had to go see all these different therapists and doctors and all of that. And I used to be have to see doctors that didn't look like me, whether that means they were not my same race or they may not have been a woman. You know, I feel like it's important that when you're going through something to have people that look like you so that you can relate more because a lot of the time we can't relate with people that haven't been through things that we've been through. And so I was like, I want to be a child psychologist to encourage that next little girl who is going through something that is possible. Look at me. So I don't think it's too late. I don't
It's
know.
not too late.
I'll pray on it and see, like the old folks say, see what the Lord has to say.
See what the Lord got to say about it.
See what the Lord got to say
And
about it.
listen, I'm gonna be praying with you. I'm gonna pray with
Appreciate
you.
I do
Yes.
appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Um, I don't even know what's the next thing I want to talk about because there was so
I
much
don't
good stuff
know.
on your page that talked about Do It Afraid, that talked about your group that you have. Tell us about your group that you have with your Becoming Root organization. Tell us about that and how did you form that group? What made you want to start that Bible study group?
Awesome. So let me just say, sis, that I applaud you for being self-taught because
Yeah.
I'm a different type of learner. And so becoming Ruth, I like to call it a carefully curated biblical experience. And
Yes.
so we just take learning the Bible to a different space. You
Mhm.
know, it's creative. So I
Yeah.
feel that for most people, we've come to a place, not necessarily now, but I can recall being in a place where we just kind of learned the Bible. We would go to Bible
Yeah.
study and someone would read, and it would be my duty to take notes and take in
Mhm.
what they're talking about, and we would pray about it. And then I
Yeah.
go home and, get a late night text, or, someone that maybe mad at the job. And quite frank, the tools that I've picked up at Bible study are not initially the first thing that comes to my
Yeah.
mind. And so I felt like, what if we could learn about the Bible in a space where we could actually work the word?
Hmm.
And so let's say we're talking about vision, and then we're working on vision boards. So we're actually doing something that it's allowing us to work the word so that the word can really stick with us. And so becoming Ruth, Ruth is my favorite Bible story.
Wow. Okay.
My favorite Bible story. First of all, it just reads like a character book. So when people are like, I want to read the Bible, I don't know where to start. I'm like, read Ruth. It's such an
Yeah.
easy read. It's 4 chapters. I feel
Hmm.
like it reads like a conversation. So it's
Yeah.
just a super easy read. But then also, when I think about women and some of the things that we're experiencing, I feel like Ruth, she just speaks to it all. Her story
Yeah.
is about faith, it's about friendship, favor,
Loyalty. Yeah.
finances, because we need to be getting to the bag. And of
That's
course, it's about relationships. She done got that good man.
yeah. Good one.
Good one. You
Got
hear me,
he got coins and everything. He got land and listen. Mm-hmm.
sir? Where are you? Come get me.
Here. Ring 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 ring. Where art thou?
It's getting rough out here, sir. Come get me.
Listen, I'm a phone
Come
a
get
friend,
me.
and when I find out where they at, we're gonna just fly on over, fly
We
on in.
flew. I'm gonna fly myself out.
Okay, fly myself out
I'm
over
gonna
it.
just fly myself out. I'm
Fly
gonna just put
myself out.
myself into space. You hear me? Just where are you, sir?
Listen, I was talking to a friend, and they asked me, and here at Crown Green, I always tell, I said, this is a safe space, a sisterhood, a foundation where we can be vulnerable, we can laugh, we can joke, and just be ourselves. Because a lot of
Yeah.
times as Christian women, we are taught to be conservative. Don't talk about relationships. Don't talk about this. Keep this for your household. In order to help somebody else, to keep them from making mistakes, you have to talk about it.
Yes.
Stuff to yourself. How do we expect to reach our youth and our young women and tell them the do's and don'ts about life when we aren't willing to be open and honest with them? And that's why they look at us like we crazy, because they like, you telling us not to do this when you did this when you were younger. So if we talk about it, and I'm probably getting off subject, but I feel like
No, it's good.
because we don't talk about this. I feel like saying relationships and sex and all these things are like cuss words in the church, but these are things that
Yeah.
our young people need to talk about.
And
If
it
you're
things that we're experiencing,
Yeah, and
and things
relationships.
that we need. Yeah. I feel like I came from a household where we just didn't talk about certain things.
Yeah,
So
and
for me, a lot of this stuff I just learned on my own. I was just out here learning. I don't know if that was the right way to learn it, but it's like,
yeah,
we
you had to
don't talk
self
about
teach
that.
yourself. Yeah, and I was a little different because my mom, she did a prenatal program, so I was in
Hmm.
Bright Stars telling the kids how to have labor and delivery because that's what I was brought up around. My mama got a note home saying, "Hey, Moo is in here telling the kids about labor and delivery." Listen, I was just trying to share the knowledge. I wasn't trying to be,
So
I wasn't
you,
trying to be out of order, but
right.
we need to be more open with our young people because they're
And I
struggling.
feel like I really love that about becoming Ruth, because sometimes we get together and we may have something that we're going to work on and we don't even get to it because it's just a group of women. We start talking, we're just hanging out, we're just releasing
Vibing.
ourselves from the worries and the stresses of life and
Yeah,
kids and responsibilities. And so it's our way of coming together and just connecting and just
yeah,
building community amongst the group of women.
yeah. I love that. I really love that sisterhood because we need that sisterhood. There's that
Yes.
big sister. Little, we need more women to do just like Naomi and Ruth to grab each other's hands, lock arms, and say, I got your back. No matter what you
Yeah.
go through, I got your
Yeah.
back. I feel
Yeah.
like even myself, some of the things that I've been through with friendships, I would have, if I truly had genuine sisterhood, I would have been prevented. Because everybody that's saying that you call sis ain't your sis. And everybody that
Yeah.
you call ain't your friend.
Yeah.
my mama Sana, she always tell me, I be like, this my friend. She like, this your who? And I be like, oh yeah, that's my
Yes.
she like, oh, thought so. Because everybody ain't your friend. And that's one
Everybody's
thing
your friend. Yeah.
I tell my goddaughter that all the time. She's going into high school. And I said, baby, them people that you calling your friend, your sis, your best friend, and it, they ain't gonna be there always. So don't get comfortable. I ain't trying to
Don't get
disparage
comfortable.
you, but it's real. It's
Yeah.
real.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, I heard and I saw that you went to the Grammys. I mean, not the Grammys, the Stellars. Can you please?
Nah, go ahead and put that out there because you
Oh yeah,
said it
you
right.
went to the Grammys. Listen, I heard you're going to the Grammys,
Going
but you,
to the Grammys, but I
yeah, I
went to
heard
the
you went,
Stellars. You
but
heard
you went
me.
to the
Put it out
Stellars.
there for the people.
I got it. Listen, y'all. This time next year, Miss Tiffany gonna be at the Grammys, and we're gonna be watching her. Okay?
Listen, I had the opportunity to go to the Stella Awards. It was the 38th annual Stella Awards in Las Vegas
Wow.
last week.
Yes, I was following
Time
you.
is flying.
I would have thought I
It,
was on your shoulders because I was watching your stories. I was watching your page. I was looking for new updates. I was like, this is dope. Like a young woman from Petersburg, Virginia, at the Stellars.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Listen, it was such an amazing time. Y'all pray for me because I'm still out here doing it afraid. So I have a lot of content that I need to be posting. And time
Mhm.
just be passing. And your girl don't always be posting the content like she's supposed to, but I'm working on it. And in my fearless journey, I'm gonna start posting more. So I got a lot of stuff that I can
Yes.
post about the Stellas. But it was just a super amazing time. I think just being in the room, it was
Yeah.
just super inspiring and everyone was so friendly and just being able to network and share with people about the song and just doing it afraid, being there and doing it afraid. I performed the song for the first time at Portals of Glory Church in Las Vegas in
Wow.
church. And so the song has been out since January.
Yeah.
And I'm a church girl, but my first time having the opportunity to sing the song in church was in Las Vegas. So
Wow.
my best friend went and we had a moment to just sit in the room and I shared that with her and I was like, come on, God, like
Yeah.
my
Come through.
first time being able to sing this song in a church is in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I
Mm.
thought that was so dope. It was just an absolutely amazing experience.
That's amazing. So, what advice, like, what can you take? What nuggets did you gain from that experience?
I think just where I am is a good place to be.
Yeah.
And I think from being a person who previously would worry so much about the future, it was a reminder that you're okay. Like what you're doing is okay. You released the song in January and you're making a few moves and you're networking with a few people and where you are is where you're supposed to be. And I think it was just a reminder to not rush the journey.
Yeah. That's good. Not to rush the journey.
Don't rush the journey. Just enjoy where you are now and the
Mhm.
opportunities that you have now. And so it was just super inspiring and encouraging. And I'm just looking forward to working on new music
Yes.
and continuing with Fearless Friday and encouraging more people to step out on faith and do it afraid. That's really what I took from the Stellas to just
That's
keep
dope.
with, yeah,
That's dope.
encouraging people to do it afraid.
And I'll give you this piece of advice that I use.
Sure.
Take snippets of your song and just send it to different people, different event people that do events, different all across the world. Just go on to Instagram and put it in the search bar and promoters and send it to them and say, hey, I'm a new artist, X, Y. And that's what I did with my podcast. And
Wow.
sometimes is a part that's doing it afraid, because after
Yeah.
they can't say but yes or no, but they can never
Mm-hmm.
say yes if you never ask, and you have
You're
no idea
absolutely
if
right.
they open from that.
You're
Go on,
right.
go to TikTok, post your song, like put your own. You're your best advocate,
Yes,
and
that's
although your
good.
friends and family say they love you and they support you, don't nobody love Tiffany like Tiffany love Tiffany.
Yes.
So put your
Yes.
foot in the door. When I see stuff, I will definitely tag you and make sure I'm
Thank you.
coming because I don't know. I just see greatness in you, and I see you
Thank
now.
you.
I don't think Vegas is the last place, your last church or last event you'll be singing "Do It Afraid" or either any of your songs. Like
Thank
there's
you.
so many churches across the world that need to hear your voice.
Thank
and that
you.
needs to hear your story. So many young people that need to know, do it afraid. Young people
Yeah.
are trying, that are graduating, even go to some schools and sing for pep rallies, because there are young people that are getting ready to go, trying to figure out, are they worthy enough to go to college? Should I do this? Should I do that? What's my next move? Do it afraid.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't know
dope.
how it's
Thank you
going
so
to end,
much.
but do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's amazing. I know you told me that Ruth was like your all-time favorite Bible character, but is there any other women in the Bible or any other Bible character that can resonate with you or resonate with you in this season?
Wow. In this season,
Hmm.
I love Ruth. I love Esther as well.
Oh yeah, she's a good one.
And just how she came into her time
Yeah.
and how her story didn't just bless her,
Hmm.
but it blessed her bloodline.
Yeah, she
And I
freed her.
think, yeah, sometimes we don't realize that the reason why there's such an urgency for you to get into your purpose is
Yeah,
because when you get into yours, it's going to create a domino effect for
yeah,
everybody around you to get into theirs. And
and I
so
get that. Hmm.
I'm just super excited to be in a season where I feel like God just helped me to lock in with what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. Not just me, but everybody around me. Because now you've locked in with Crown Green Podcast, and it's
Yeah,
giving me the opportunity to have a place to come and talk about Do It Afraid. You
yeah,
know? So you walking into your time, you taking up your space is giving me the opportunity to take up mine.
yeah.
So I
So
love her. Well, yeah, I love her.
I think in my past, I felt like I was the woman with the issue of blood was is one
Mm-hmm.
of my favorites, because with me dealing with my illness, I
Mm-hmm.
been NF since I was 5, and so I'm like
Wow.
constantly saying, "Okay, Lord, now I'm doing everything you asked me to do. I'm right here." But He's saying, you're talking the talk, and you're doing this, and you're doing that, but have you truly touched the hem of my garment and completely trusted me? So that's where I'm at in this season. It's
Yeah.
completely submitting to Him and saying, okay, I'm talking this talk, but now I really, really believe it. And I do. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
the human side kicks in, and when that human kicking in, it interferes, it's like that it knocks off some of your faith that can get you to where you need to be. So I think I'm still in my I'm dealing with that woman with the issue of blood season. I'm trying to get to the hem of the garment. I'm going through the crowd, trying to get to his garments just to touch the hem.
And I would say go forth, press forth, because it was only one touch that did it,
One
you
touch.
know?
Yeah.
So keep with it. Be encouraged that you're doing what it is that you're supposed to do. You're sticking to what it is that God has called you to do. You're sticking to the vision. You're sticking to the
Yeah.
plan. You're seeking after him.
Yeah.
And all you need is a touch.
Just a touch. And I
Just a touch. Like you don't need a lot. You just
not a
need
lot.
one
And I
touch.
think sometimes it feels like you get close to where you're about to touch it, but somebody comes along and they say, "Man, I'm suffering. I really need this." You say, "Okay, well, you can go ahead. I'll wait. Listen,
Mm-mm.
that season is over. I don't mean no harm, but you're gonna have to get there your own self."
Now in that crowd, that lady had to be really about herself to
Yeah,
get through the crowd of people.
because yes,
It's like a desperation. Like,
it was.
nah, ain't nobody gonna. Mm-mm. I'm gonna get
Like
it.
she was
If
really fighting
anybody gonna
for
get the
this
touch,
moment.
it's gonna be me.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah. So that's the season I'm in with. That's one of my favorite Bible characters. I love Job as well. Job is
dope.
one of my favorites too. He's up in my top 5 as well. He
I
really
love
is.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So in one of your Facebook posts, you said, "My
Hmm.
prayer is that someone will look at my journey and hear this sound and be encouraged to do it afraid." That's the real goal. So, any advice for the listeners who may be trying to figure out their next move, but it's mama fear to hold them back?
I would
I
say
would
seek God.
say, yeah,
Pray about it. Because you want to make sure that what it is that you're walking into is really God wanting you to walk into this thing and not your own desire. But I feel like for some of us, you know what it is that you're supposed to be doing. God
yeah,
is giving it to you. He's shown you And we'd be like, show me another sign. And he's like, no, just do it. And so I would say taking a leap of faith.
Mm.
It takes take a leap. Take the leap. Take
Just
the
step
leap of
out.
faith. Just
Yeah.
step out. Just step out. Step out. Whatever that could be. So, and be practical in your stepping out. Okay, so you want a new job. Stepping out could be working on a resume.
Yeah.
Because how you gonna get a new job? You don't have no resume, or just applying for the position
Yeah.
that you want. Just stepping out. Make it practical.
Yeah.
Just step out. You want to lose a little weight? Okay, well, get a gym membership.
Mm-hmm. And you know, it's crazy that you say this because I heard Bishop, I think it was Bishop Jakes that preached a message years ago. He said, you know, when you asking for certain things, prepare yourself for it. You want a new car, go look at new cars and say, this is my car, this is this. You want a new house, go look at houses. You want a husband, start preparing for that husband. Live your life as if you're married. You know, when you set the table for two. When you know, so prepare yourself for what you're asking God for too to
That's
show
good. Because I ain't
correct.
been setting that table for two. That was good. I need to start doing that.
Listen. Let me tell you now. See, I didn't got a whole wedding registry on Amazon. I got the wedding playlist. Listen, I don't know when the wedding is gonna be. I just been saying the engagement is next year, sometime, somehow, some way.
Wait a minute. Wait. The wedding registry?
Yeah, because I mean, he can put what he want when the Lord sees it, he can add his pick when he come. But I didn't put my picks on there. I already know my house color scheme and everything, child.
I'm going to start with setting the table for two. I'm going to set the table for two.
Wedding table for two.
That's
Listen, I
dope.
done got
The
that
wedding
registry
registry.
going.
I didn't think about that one, but that's good.
Yeah,
Nah, you ready. You
I'm
ready.
ready. I'm
You know
planning.
what? I'm gonna do like you just said. Go ahead. Go ahead before me, sis, because you ready. So I'm gonna let you
Listen,
go before me. Just give me an invite to the
I
wedding.
got you. Listen, I got you. You most definitely will be invited. Um, but yeah, this season, I feel like everybody should be doing what they need to do to get to where they're supposed to
Get
be.
it. Yes.
Because tomorrow is not promised, and if
It's
we keep
not promised.
wait for tomorrow, tomorrow may not come. So what if you
Yeah.
wait for tomorrow and you never see it?
Yeah.
My mama sana always says that make that dash in between your sunrise and your sunset count.
Make it count.
You can do in that, do it afraid, step into your green, whatever it is that you enjoy doing, whatever it is that God has placed on your heart, do it in
Do
this
it
season, in
in
this
this
moment.
season.
Don't allow anyone to hold you back. Don't allow
Yeah.
fear, naysayers, because everybody is not
Yeah.
love you. Everybody is not going to be on your team. You're going to have,
Yeah.
and it's going to be the ones that's closest to you that's not going to,
Yeah.
and that's okay. Um, yeah, you have to be like Ruth and be like, for God I live, for God I die. I'll do what
God.
you need me to do,
God.
God. So this been really, really good. It's
I
just been
had an
it's the
amazing
conversation
time
between
talking
two
to
people.
you.
Normally it's really scripted. My podcast
Mm-hmm.
with all my questions and I'm scripted, but I didn't really focus on my questions as much as I normally do because it just felt like I was just talking to a sister, like we just on the
So
phone chatting. So this was cool. I'm excited to add it and just upload this like just a normal roundtable chat with a sister talk. Like this
I'm
was dope.
so glad.
So yes. So
I'm
in
so glad.
closing, before we wrap up, spill the tea. What can we look for next for Miss Tiffany besides the Grammys, besides new music, the wedding, the good stuff. Tell us what's tea.
The wedding, sis. So no, listen. I am, first of all, you can follow me on Instagram at I am TiffanySherice. There
Mm-hmm.
you will find the link for Becoming Ruth. Come on and join us. Our
Yes.
Bible study group. We meet in person and virtually. So you're more than welcome to come out to a session. There you can listen to Do It Afraid. I'm hoping to be hosting Fearless Friday in a few more cities. So be looking
Yeah.
out, be in prayer for me to see where we're taking Fearless Friday to next. And hopefully
And
gonna begin some new music out to you all by the end of the year.
we
So
ready.
follow me. I would love to connect with you and follow back. Again, that is I am Tiffany Sherice on all platforms. That's the name of my website, Instagram. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook. Everything is I am Tiffany Sherice. And I'm just super excited to be able to have this conversation with you. I've had a great time.
Thank you so much. So before we close, is there anything about any subject, anything that you want to share, that you want to give the people, tell the people, whether it's encouragement, a joke, like anything you want to share with us before we begin to close?
Mm, that's a good one. I think just enjoying your now.
Yeah.
Like let's just take a minute to enjoy where you are now. Like by the
Mm,
time you hear this podcast, it'll be August what?
eighth,
8th.
August
Like
8th.
wherever you are in this moment when you hear this, just taking a moment to offer gratitude to where you are at this present moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
That's
can.
good.
I like that. That's good. Enjoy
Yeah.
the moment.
Just enjoying the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's good.
I think
So
so.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
Normally I ask people to pray us out, but I'm actually to sing us
Hmm.
out. Before I do
Thank
my
you,
little,
Al.
yeah, I'm gonna do my little rant to close us out and sing us on out of here.
Okay.
And you can say anything that you want. ABCs, twinkle twinkle.
Okay.
Sing us out. Let us hear that anointing that's in them pipes. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna close this out. It's your
Mm-hmm.
girl, the host of Crown Green Podcast. This has been an amazing interview with my new sis, Miss TiffanySherice. Miss Tiffany, we thank you for joining us. Y'all be sure to go follow my girl. Check her out on Instagram at I am TiffanySherice. Check her out on Facebook at TiffanySherice. And don't forget to go and log in and tune in with her Bible study group. Miss TiffanySherice, take us out.
All right, so what's up, y'all? It's TiffanySherice here. And because you have literally said that, look, I'm about to make a faith move. I'm about to bust a faith move and I'm going to be stepping out and I'm going to do it afraid. I feel like after you do it afraid this time, you're going to have a new testimony and it is going to be that I am free. Okay.
Yeah.
So I am free. Praise the Lord. I'm free. You're no longer bound. No more chains
Thanks, Tiff.
holding me. My soul is resting. And it's just a blessing. Everybody say together, praise the Lord. Hallelujah, I'm free. That's
Thank
Tiffany
you.
Sharice, y'all. Super excited to connect with you. Shout out to you, sis.
Thank
Be
you.
encouraged. Be encouraged.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
We
so much.
need you. We need this platform. You're doing an amazing job, and we are so proud of you. And we are praying for you. And God is not a man that he should
Not
lie.
at all. Yes.
Everything that he said is still coming to pass, and we're believing it for you. And just super excited. Thank you for letting me be on the platform today. Thank you for letting me hang out.
Yes. Come back anytime. Like literally
Yes.
anytime. So that's the show, y'all. It's your girl Moo
Tiffany Sharice
and we signing out. Peace.
signing out. Peace.